Hillary Clinton wants to abolish the Second Amendment. Just remember that. We're not talking about change it. She wants to abolish the Second Amendment. So we're not going to let that happen. I can tell you that right now. We're going to preserve it. We're going to cherish it. We're going to take care of it.
Donald Trump just now getting the endorsement of the National Rifle Association. Let's bring in Democratic strategist and Fox News contributor Julie Roginsky and reporter from the Washington Times, Kelly Riddell. Great to have you both. This can't be a surprise, Kelly. Certainly he's been very vocal about supporting the NRA and supporting the right to own a gun. But now he's going backwards and changing his stance. He had once said that he felt assault weapons should be banned. He's changed that and now really pushing to get that. What does this mean for the other side, Hillary Clinton, who's taken very honestly taken the very opposite side?
Well, I mean, this is a key difference between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. And quite frankly, the NRA endorsement did come as a surprise today, given the fact that no one really expected it on the conservative side. And he needs this endorsement. I mean, there's 8.1 million active members. The NRA is crucial in getting the grassroots out there and activated for the general election. So, and one thing that Chris Cox did say, and one thing that the NRA did say, is that Donald Trump has been consistent on his position for the Second Amendment since he entered the race in June. And this is true. In all of his speeches, all of his stump speeches out there and at his rallies, he consistently calls for the abolishment of gun-free zones at schools. He stands up for the Supreme Court decisions about concealed carry. So he's been very consistent on this issue, and he needs the space.
Julie, what do you think about that?
Well, it's very nice that Donald Trump's been consistent on this one issue for 11 months that he's been talking about it. I happen to remember when he had a very different issue, and those of us who live in the New York media market certainly remember that as well. Look, the reality for Donald Trump is that he will say whatever he needs to say to whatever audience he's saying it to. If he were running in the Republican-Democratic primary, which he could have easily done because you don't know where he stands, he's only been a Republican for a short period of time, he obviously would have said something very different. So, you know, if I'm an NRA conservative, do I trust him? And the answer is I don't trust him.
Can we go, though, being a business network, to an issue that does matter? By the way, the new Fox polls showed that the economy is #1, right front and center for all of the voters. Interestingly, in this same Fox News poll, Donald Trump comes out ahead of Hillary Clinton in a head-to-head matchup when it comes to them trusting which candidate with the economy. That may have surprised some people.
It's not surprising to me because what Donald Trump has done is what any candidate does after they win the primary. He's consolidated his base, or he's on the verge of consolidating his base. And they always get a bump after they consolidate the primary. She has not yet consolidated hers, so his numbers are slightly up now. Let's see where we are after the conventions in the summer, and we'll see what happens there. I don't believe, ultimately, that he's somebody who's going to be more trusted on this issue going forward because, again, when you explore the totality of Donald Trump's record on the economy and his personal business dealings, 4 bankruptcies, the last time we saw his taxes, he paid 0 in income tax, federal income tax, the last time we had access to his federal income taxes, so on and so forth. When that is more absorbed by the electorate, there's going to be questions about his handling of the economy.
But, Kelly, he wins on national security, too. He beats Hillary Clinton, the former Secretary of State, on that.
Yes, and that is also a key indicator going into the fall, which turns out the electorate is, do you feel safe, and who do you feel safer? Do you feel safer now than you did 8 years ago? And I think the answer to that question is no. Just look what happened with the Paris plane crash. Donald Trump was quick to call that out for what it was, for what it may be, Islamic terror, and he's been very honest and forthright about this issue. And quite frankly, it's a lot of people.
What do you guys make of this one? This is in the same Fox News poll. The question was, whom do you trust with the nuclear codes? Meaning, when you get to push that code and set off a nuclear bomb, Hillary Clinton wins by 11 points, which is interesting. If people feel that Donald Trump is better on national security, they don't think he's the one who should have the codes?
He's erratic. I mean, it's, you know, do you trust somebody that the majority of the population considers to be erratic? And that's a mathematical fact.
That is not, Julie, that is not true.
Excuse me, let me just finish, Kelly. Kelly, let me finish my thought. He is erratic. The only person that I remember him praising as a European leader is Vladimir Putin, who I happen to think is the biggest threat to our world security right now. So is this somebody you trust with the nuclear code?
Kelly, quickly, go ahead. Kelly?
I think it's definitely somebody you trust with the nuclear code, and that is just a line that the left is using over and over again. So it looks like it's gaining traction.
Let me just make sure that this is clear. It's a Fox poll.
Yes, but I'm saying from the left establishment, from pundits, this is something that they're trying to ingrain in the populace. I mean, Hillary Clinton went into Libya. She totally she was the
Trump supported her doing it.
She got rid of Muammar Gaddafi. It was a huge mistake. The rise of ISIS is to blame because of that decision. And, I mean, it was a disaster.
Kelly,
so, she's got some foreign policy questions that she has to answer for as well.
Kelly, you know who liked and wanted her to go into Libya and who advocated for it? Donald Trump.
Donald Trump was a private citizen at that time and wasn't getting intelligence reports.
Okay, well, he's still not getting them now. So.